up? Welcome back to my channel. So today we're doing a really fun first impressions video trying a bunch of luxury designer makeup brands that are really often highly regarded as makeup artists' favorite products. I just did a ton of research, read a bunch of articles, watched a bunch of videos. I was noticing a lot of overlap in the products that all different makeup artists recommend. So I thought it would be fun to just compile a giant list together, try them all out for the first time with you guys. And these are all products that I've never used on my channel before, so we're like genuinely trying them for the first time together. So it'll be fun. Before we get into it, please make sure that you subscribe to my channel so you can stay updated whenever I upload new videos. And then also please be sure to come follow me on Instagram as well, because you guys know you'll always find me on Instagram whenever I'm not on my channel. I love watching Birdie Beauty, Into the Gloss, Harper's Bazaar, Vogue. Like, I love those beauty channels where they have different professional makeup artists and models, actresses, all that. And I like learning about the products that they use. And I also, you know, I'm always reading beauty blogs and things like that. And I was noticing that a lot of professional makeup artists, there's a lot of overlap in the products that they deem their favorites. So I compiled a giant list and I found like really core staples that I was noticing a lot of them were using. So I put in a huge order. It's actually not that huge considering how much stuff I got. I have my brushes in here that I'm gonna be using as well, but we're gonna be trying all these products, just doing a really in-depth first impression on all these products. Everything that I purchased is something that I don't own or have never used. So I'm very excited about this because I wanna see if these products live up to the hype. So let's get started. I'm gonna start off by prepping the base. I'm just gonna use the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base and the eye cream. These aren't included. These are just what I'm using right now because my skin's a little bit more dry. So I just use the face base kind of all over the face. Still got a little bit of eczema, a little bit of eye cream. This one is really hydrating and I still have just a little bit of dry skin from my eczema. So I'm just gonna really push this in and give it a couple moments to fully absorb. So for an illuminating base, I kept seeing the Hollywood Flawless Filter from Charlotte Tilbury. I picked mine up in the shade 4. Now, I was seeing a lot of Wonder Glow and the Marc Jacobs Dew Drops as well, but you guys have seen me use those on my channel many times. So I wanted to keep this strictly all products that you guys haven't seen me use before. So Hollywood Flawless Filter, very excited about this. Comes with a doe foot. This one you can use all over the face for a flawless filter or on top of foundation if you want extra coverage. So I'm gonna use this as my illuminating base. And we're just gonna stripe this on the skin. I think this has coverage to it, so I'm gonna be a little bit more light-handed with it, just so we can kind of see how much coverage we actually get from it. Ooh. All right, so I'm blending it in and I already really like it. It gives you like barely there tint. It's nothing that's like giving me super coverage, but just look at my skin. It's blending in. Charlotte Tilbury always does really amazing glow products, so I was actually really, So it's definitely more illuminating than Wonder Glow, and it has just the slightest tint. So here's the skin with just the Hollywood Flawless Filter on it, and I actually really love this. I feel like because of the tint in the product, it overall, you know, just gave my skin a sheer evening out, but it didn't mask anything. I love the strobe of it. I just feel like it makes the skin look so juicy and dewy. And if I was having a particularly good skin day, I would actually be inclined to just wearing this on its own with some concealer to spot conceal, because I'm actually really impressed with just how much more even my skin looks. It does feel slightly tacky, which I like in a primer because I feel like this is a great base for foundation. However, if I was gonna wear this on its own, I do think I would want to powder just a little bit. But we're gonna be using foundation today, and we are going to be using, I'm so excited, I got the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. So I picked mine up in 7.5. You guys have been asking my opinions on this foundation and I've just never tried it. I don't know, I just never got around to it because I always have so many foundations and I was like, do I really need another one? But this was the foundation I kept seeing raved about by professional makeup artists. So very excited. I did get just the tiny bottle because I was like, if I don't like it, why would I get the full size? But if I do like it, I'll get the full size. I'm a little too geeked to be trying this. So I'm just going to pump it on the back of my hand. I'll start off with about a pump and a half. And just dot this all over. And I'm just gonna keep applying. And then I'm gonna use a beauty blender to kind of buff this out. I'm hoping this is a dewy foundation, but it actually looks like it's a little bit more satin. Work it into the skin so that I get a nice evened out complexion. I'm gonna do a little bit more coverage around my nose though, because I've got some acne. I actually really like how it's building. Even though I built it up in this area, it doesn't look too cakey. And I feel like you can still see my moles and stuff, which is kind of what I go for, because even though I want a decent amount of coverage, I never want it to look too cakey. Now I did use an eye cream, but I will say that I'm really impressed with how this foundation isn't clinging to the dry eczema patches around my eyes, because that's kind of one of the main things that I look for in a foundation. It has to look good on my skin when it's normal, but it also has to look really good on my skin when I have eczema, because I can't, you know, predict whenever I'm gonna get an eczema flare up. And the consistency of this foundation, with it being like still luminous but more of like a satin finish right now, I was really expecting like the satinness of it to really cling to those areas, but it's not. It's actually just kind of laying on top and blending with the skin, but not emphasizing the texture, which I'm mucho impressed by. For concealer, hands down, the one that I kept seeing over and over again was the Clé de Peau concealer. This is it's just called the concealer. Broad spectrum SPF 25. I got mine in the shade Ochre. This concealer is so expensive. It better bring it. Like, it's so expensive and it's so tiny. It just better be super good. So it's a stick, and I was seeing a lot of people just kind of tap the bullet to get the product out. So that's what we're gonna do. It's really creamy. I don't know if I got the right shade. Hopefully it brightens up my under eyes. So a lot of makeup artists were saying that this is amazing for hiding dark circles under the eyes, dark spots, acne. Basically, all the makeup artists were saying that this concealer does it all. So I was like, we have to see for ourselves if it's really worth it. So just do this eye first, but this will just hopefully give you more of like a beamed up, brightened effect. I'll put some on the eyelid to prime for eyeshadow too. It's so expensive that it better be a good eye primer too. Okay, so as I'm swiping it over my eyelids, hopefully the camera will pick it up. Where those dark spots are on the eyelid, that's eczema. So it's not playing super well with my eczema, especially like right here. Like, I'm kind of feeling it scrape across. But this concealer is a little bit more dry, so I guess I was kind of having to anticipate that it wouldn't play well with dry patches, but we still had to try it out, you know? And I'm using it to prime my eyes because I used it on the other one. And right there, you guys can see that dark dot. That's another little eczema bit. So it's not really covering the eczema. I don't know how this concealer is making the eczema look darker. So for eyeshadow, I was seeing a lot of Dior shadows and Chanel eyeshadows, which I've used on my channel multiple times. And like I said, I really want to try new products that we haven't tried together yet. So another really popular one was from Tom Ford. This is the Tom Ford Cream and Powder Eye Color. I got the shade Golden Peach. So from what I understand, the top is no, that's the powder. So there's a powder in the top, and then in this lower tube, you have a cream shadow. So like a peach cream and then a gold powder. Right, so cream and then powder. So we'll go in with this cream. Ooh, it's fluffy. It's really moussey. Really fluid, wet texture. It's definitely not a dry or kind of like, you know, some cream shadows are kind of clayish. This one's really moussey and light. So because it's like more of the fluid light formula, it actually blends out really easy. It's cute. Golden peach. Then we're gonna do the glitter, like creamy powder side. So I'm just gonna dip my finger into this and then tap it on top. Okay, so this is not intense at all. Like, I'm rubbing my finger on it and it's more of like a wet shine rather than a glitter. I was expecting it to be more glittery. So I don't hate that. It just kind of creates almost like a lacquer glossy finish on the eye. Anyway, so the powder side really clings to the cream, so I don't know if it would look this reflective without the cream base on it, but that is really, really pretty. And I feel like you could also do it a little bit more sheer and not make it quite as glittery. But I do really like the effect. It looks really shiny. For contour, this was the one that I kept seeing countless times. It's the Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate. I chose Intensity 1. There's also Intensity 2, which is slightly darker. I'm not gonna lie, I already opened this, but I haven't tried it. But the highlight kind of scares me because it's like white. So we'll see how that goes. So there's the cream and then the highlight. I'm going to apply the cream with this brush from Sephora. I'm just gonna pick it up, try to kind of get a little bit more control. I can't really contour with my fingers all the time. I do like to have a brush just for some help. So always tap off the excess on the back of your hand. And then we're just gonna do it. I actually wanna say really quick that as the foundation sets, it gets more luminous and it doesn't look quite as matte. It's looking more dewy. So I'm just gonna pop this like that. Trying new cream contours always scares me. I'm always like, oh my God, what if it looks bad? This one's really gel-like. I'm gonna use the angled side to kind of blend everything out. This contour isn't really creamy. It's more like a gel formula. Okay, you guys are seeing this. It's blending out so beautifully. I'm gonna kind of chisel my jaw a little bit. Wow. This, I was not expecting this to blend out so beautifully and naturally. It's really pretty. And it doesn't look too harsh. It's a really soft, natural contour. I'm also gonna take this like around my mouth just to kind of make my lips look a little bit bigger. That's a trick. So now we're gonna try the highlight, which is silver. No, it's not. It's practically clear. There's a highlight on my hand. I mean, wow, does not, it's almost like a wet opalescent. It's so pretty. It makes your skin look wet. Oh my gosh. It's so subtle, but wet looking. And I'm just doing it with my fingers because I feel like that's the best way to apply cream highlights and stuff, but wow. I can see why this is like a favorite. It's so beautiful. That's the other thing. These are setting to the skin to where they don't feel wet or tacky, which is amazing. I'm super hyped on that contour now. For blushes, I kept seeing a lot of the Stila Convertible Color Dual Lip and Cheek Cream, which I love a good cream blush moment. I just feel like they look so natural. Okay, it stopped. So I got mine in the shade Camellia, which is like a really pretty deep, fleshy nude. So I'm just gonna pick this up with my fingertips. Everyone was saying they love these because you can use them on the cheeks or the lips, but they're super pigmented and create a really natural looking flush. So I'm just going to pop that, and then I always do the tap, tap, tap of the excess on the back of the hand. I already know I like cream blush, so it's more so, do I like this color? Put a little bit on the nose just to kind of tie it together. I generally love cream blushes, so I'm not surprised that I really like that one. In terms of powder, I really have been intrigued by this one because I hear such great things about it, and I know makeup artists love it because it's supposed to be the most finely milled pressed powder on the market. It's the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Finish Powder. Now, you guys know how picky I am with powder, so this has a lot to live up to. I got the shade 2. I guess we're just gonna go in powder. Because we're using a lot of cream, powder really helps out and just will make everything last longer. So I'm gonna take this little brush from Hourglass, tapping off the excess, and I'm just gonna lightly tap this powder all over the face. Especially with like the cream contour and stuff, I wanna make sure that lasts as long as possible. So I'm just gonna powder all of that. This seems to be pretty translucent, but I don't like the way it's going on the concealer. I feel like the concealer reacted bad to that powder and it kind of broke up in a spot. Ugh. So I'm not going to powder the concealer anymore. I actually really like the way the powder looks on top of the creams. It's not taking away too much light or mattifying the skin too much. You guys can see I still have a decent amount of reflection in my skin, but it doesn't look chalky. For brows, I kept seeing the Anastasia Brow Wiz. This is in the shade Soft Brown, and this is actually an automatic brow pencil, which typically I don't go for. I just think they're kind of a ripoff because I feel like you get more product in the ones that you manually sharpen yourself, but I just kept seeing this one all over. I've never used it. Patrick Cha said he uses this on each and every single one of his clients, so I figured we should try it and just kind of see what it's all about, see if we think it's any better than any other automatic brow pencil. So I do feel like because of the really fine tip of the product itself, you can more easily create more hair-like strokes that are natural looking. I like it in the front, but it just seems a little bit tedious to use in the back. Sorry, not sorry. I also just feel like the automatic brow pencils, I go through them so fast, so to me, they're not worth the money. I just like the mechanical sharpened ones. So for bronzers, a lot of people were saying the Guerlain terracotta bronzers were the best. I picked this one up in the shade 4, which is medium blondes, but this one looked really, really deep online. Like the brunette one looked lighter than the blonde one, so I don't know what that's about. There's the package, let's see. Yeah, this is super dark. And the brunette one looked so much lighter. I'm gonna use my favorite bronzing brush, which is the Laura Mercier Finishing Powder Brush. This one I think has like a really nice red undertone. So I'm excited to see if this, oh, it's super red. This is super red. It has a really strong red undertone. I probably wouldn't use this to warm up my entire face. I feel like it's almost too drastic of a color. This is really, really red. I feel like I gotta blend it really far down. Maybe when I have more of a strong tan like this summer, maybe it'll look better, but I don't know, guys. I feel like it's way too red. For mascara, I kept seeing a lot of the Lancome Hypnose Drama. This mascara has a cult following. My grandmother uses it. It's like the only thing she's used for years, so it's probably really great. This is the package, and the brush itself is curved into kind of an S shape too, which I thought was interesting because I'm like, does that make it go on better? I don't know. Let's begin. I actually like the brush shape. I feel like it hugs the lashes really nicely. I usually like things that are a little bit more wispy and not quite so volumizing. Like I like wispiness and length, but not too much volume. I feel like this is super, super volumizing. The brush is also really nice if you want to like separate the lashes. I'm having an easy time separating them. I like it. It's really volumizing. So I'm gonna pop it on the lower lashes too. The brush itself is a really nice size. It's not too big and it's not too small. And I do like the handle. The handle's really nice and makes it easier to apply as well. So there it is on the top and bottom lashes. I like it. It's very voluminizing, super dramatic mascara. This isn't really something I would probably go for every day, just because I tend to like something a little bit more soft, but it's very dramatic. And you guys can see it just made my lashes look so voluminized. So for lip pencils, a lot of makeup artists were recommending MAC and Charlotte Tilbury, both of which I've used on my channel, but I've actually never used another really popular one, which was the Makeup Forever Aqua Lip. These are long-lasting lip pencils, and I chose the shade 3C. A lot of makeup artists were saying they really like these because of the staying power, and they have good nude shades. So let's see what we're working with. I would have liked something a little bit more brown, but this was supposed to be like a good everyday one. I think if you have a more pink lip tone, you might like it better. And then in terms of lipsticks, I kept seeing a lot of ones that I already use in my videos, and I really, like I said, wanted to try something new. So the overall trend I was noticing was sheer, gel-like, tinted balm type of products. That seemed to be the thing that most of them were gravitating towards. So I found this from Marc Jacobs, and it is their New Nudes Sheer Lip Gel. So this is like a sheer lipstick. I got it in the shade Anise. I love the packaging. It's like the standard Marc Jacobs, but it's nude packaging, which I'm here for. So there's the bullet, and we're just gonna apply. Not exactly what I would call sheer. This is pretty standard coverage for a lipstick. Did I put too much on? I'm gonna swatch it. No, I feel like that's pretty standard coverage for a lipstick. So I'll just blot a little piece off. Also with a sheer gel type of lip product, I wouldn't expect it to emphasize the dry on my lips as much, but that just could be the shade itself. It could just be because it's a nude and it's emphasizing the dryness of my lips, but I don't like how you can see those. I should have exfoliated first, but I thought it was gonna be more sheer and juicy, so I'm just gonna put a little bit of the Kopari Lip Glossy on top to kind of get the lip product to move around a little bit more, be less drying. See, much better. All right guys, so this is the finished look we created. I'm gonna say right off the bat, the two things that were a really big letdown were the Clé de Peau concealer and the Grwm bronzer. First of all, the Grwm is just way too red. It's kind of driving me insane. I don't like the way it looks on my skin. And I feel like that Clé de Peau concealer, maybe I need to play around with it a little bit more, but I feel like it just emphasized the dryness of my skin. It's breaking up really weird under my right eye, and it's breaking up weird around the corners of my mouth. Yeah. But everything else I really liked, but it's, you know, this is just a first impressions video. I will, of course, update you guys on everything that I tested out in this video. Have you guys tried any of these products? I wanna know your thoughts, especially if you've tried the Clé de Peau. I wanna know like how you get it to work for your skin type. And I'll update you guys on all these products after I play around with them a little bit more for a week or so and let you know what I really think about them. But this was just fun. I just wanted to try everything for the first time together. I will list and link everything in the description box down below for you guys. I hope this was fun for you guys to watch. If you have any other products, like luxury products that you really want to see me test out, leave them in the comments down below. And I also think it would be really fun if we try to dupe these products if they end up being just as amazing as everybody says. So that could be fun too. Other than that, guys, I'll see you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching this one. Bye, guys.